which is the reason why Barbara and Butch are here. To dis-
You don't have anything that
No,
you're...
because it's an open meeting thing. All right, so we're looking to purchase one additional Ford for the fleet because it's no longer can be inspected or used. And there's a 6-month lead time as it stands right now, so if they purchase the vehicle now, it's 6 months at the earliest before they'll get it. So if we wait for a special town meeting or an annual town meeting, we're probably looking at a year. So, I don't know if anyone has any questions. Barbara sent along a lot of the information related to the purchase. Sorry. And I don't know if Barbara or Butch, you want to add anything to what I said, to clarify anything? I don't see any questions at this point.
Just one quick thing. I ordered 2 trucks in July, and they haven't even been scheduled to be built yet. Just a comment on the lead time.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Ken, you had a question?
Oh, I thought, when I saw the invoice or the quote, it was like, I thought it was 2 vehicles, but there's one.
It's one, yeah.
Okay, and this is.
The quote is for 2.
Okay, but it's, okay, I was a little confused as to, okay.
Yeah, so, and you guys need to talk in your mics because it's really hard. At least I'm struggling to hear you. I don't know about Kathy and Butch and Bruce.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could pull your microphones closer to yourself. But yeah, at this point, we are only looking to purchase the one vehicle to replace the one that is no longer roadworthy. And, you know, normally we probably would have waited till town meeting, but as Kevin said, and as Butch just said, given the lead time on the vehicles, you know, we're going to be lucky if we even have this vehicle by July 1st.
And was the intent to purchase this as part of next year's capital plan, and you're just accelerating it by 1 year? Or this
The intent was that the frame didn't rust out, or the undercarriage didn't rust out, so
Yeah, there was no.
we didn't expect that to happen this year.
Right, and everyone understands the fleet vehicles are shared by multiple departments, right? Conservation, Board of Health, the inspectors, whenever someone needs to go and do an official function on behalf of the town, they sign out one of these vehicles, go do it, and then they come back, they sign it back in, and so.
The number of vehicles that we had was working well, and so with this vehicle being down, it's really putting a hamper on the availability of the vehicles for all the individuals that need to use it. And what we really try to not have happen is when we don't have enough vehicles, employees are using their own personal vehicles. And, you know, not all the areas where they're going to inspect are really, you know, they shouldn't have to be using their own vehicles on the terrain that sometimes they have to go to.
Kevin, Barbara, a question about assumption of liability. If an employee, in the course of doing the employee's job, is driving a personal vehicle, but as I say, for town work, and is in an accident, whether at fault or not, or strikes a person or property, who holds liability?
I think it's on their own auto insurance, but you know what, Larry, I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it, you know, I know for workman's comp, if you're in an accident in your own vehicle in the course of doing work, workman's comp does kick in for that because you're performing your work duties.
The interim town
Yeah.
administrator can add to this, I think.
Hang on, Larry. Bob, would you come to a mic and just talk here? No problem.
No, I was just going to say, if they are on town business and using a personal vehicle, I haven't had a chance to look at the town's coverage, but they should be covered under the town's insurance policy.
Well, that, if I may continue, Kevin, that sounds like the town, assuming that interim town administrator is correct in what he said, I have no reason to think he isn't, That means that every time somebody gets in their vehicle for the town, on behalf of the town is throwing wide open everything that happens. It's going to land right on the doorstep of the town, which seems to me to be very compelling for why we ought to get this vehicle, and as fast as it can be brought to us through the supply chain and so forth.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Just should have looked it up. What's our balance?
Mike, I can't hear you.
Balance of the
I
free
know
cash.
I know we spent $8,000 in one meeting, and then this would be in addition to that.
Right, we've only had one reserve fund transfer so far for $8,000 for the installation of the shade structure, so you have a balance of $161,000.
It's 161, you said? I'm sorry, I didn't get.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, then I'd be looking for a motion to transfer the amount of $28,500 from the reserve fund into the capital projects vehicle.
I so move.
That's Larry. Have a second?
Second.
Jim? Okay. So what I'd like to do is I'd like just to roll call this one, so when Joanne actually gets the meeting, she'll know who voted in the affirmative or if someone votes negative. So we'll just start with the room and Larry.
I vote aye.
Okay. Yes. Ben? Lee?
Aye.
Okay. Mike?
Aye.
Bruce, you there?
Yep.
Aye. You're an aye? Okay. Kathy?
Yes.
And Kevin's a yes, so it's unanimous. So good, that's 8-0, and that gets you to that. Thank you both for your time. And actually, Butch, while you're here then, how did your installation go with your new shades down there at the field?
Perfect. They came in, we did it in 2 days.
Oh, great.
And everything's done. All we have to do now is put the fabric on in the spring.
Oh, great, excellent, good. All right, thank you very much. I'll put this in your box, Barbara, and we should be good to go.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
See you later.
Thank you, Butch, thank you, Barbara.
Take care.
So the next thing on the agenda is the meeting minutes, and there's two sets of meeting minutes, one from October 13th and one from October 14th. These were both in relation to the special town meeting. So, which one did you have the corrections for?
I had it on October 14th.
All right, so we'll deal with the 13th, obviously, since it's first. I didn't see anything when I looked at these earlier today. So I don't know if anyone... You got a question, Kenny?
No,
Oh, I thought
I'm sorry, no, I
I'll make
said,
a motion to approve the minutes of the 13th, October 13th.
Second.
All right, JWLM. So we'll just do this in the roll call order again. Larry?
Aye.
aye.
I'll abstain since I was not participating.
Perfect. Jim? Mike?
Aye.
Okay, Kathy?
Yes.
Bruce? Aye. All right, and Kevin's a yes, too. All right, so that gets us through 701, yeah. All right, so October 14th. And I know Jim has just a couple of small corrections that he's uncovered. You want to just, for the record, do it?
One's just a typo, I think, or wrong word, and the other one is just thanks for a subject to defer, but in the questioning under review of special town warrant article 47, it's at the bottom of page 1. It says, answer to the question about traffic. 4 lines up, it said, 8,000 people come annually and will be 3,000 additional cars. I believe annually and there will be 3,000 additional cars. Insert the word THERE before the word there to give that sentence.
Okay.
And then on the next page, what are the revenue sources for the facility? This is about bottom of the third paragraph up. It says, online betting is the predominate revenue source, and it should be predominant, A-N-T. Those are the two changes I have. And other than that, I didn't find anything else that had to be changed.
All right, anyone else with changes?
No.
So then we'll take a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
I don't think that's really an amendment, is it?
Well-
Mr.
You just call them Scrivener's errors or
Yeah.
something, it's fine.
Okay.
Typos, whatever.
All right. Larry?
Aye.
Ken?
Abstain.
Aye.
Mike?
I'm going to vote aye, but who made the motion, who seconded?
Oh, I thought it was Jim and Larry.
Okay.
Maybe I jumped that gun, but, you know. Kathy?
Yes.
And Bruce?
Aye.
Okay, and Kevin's a yes, too. So we're back to 701 there. All right, moving right along. Old business, anybody? All right, okay, I didn't think to it. Under new business, I just have a few things. One is that everyone should have gotten an email from Barbara forwarded through me about conflict of interest training. Is that, yeah. Yeah.
Kevin, can you pull the mic a little closer?
Well, yeah, we're trying to quiet you, Bruce. You seem to be having some feedback at this point.
I see, okay.
So, anyways, the conflict of interest training, I sent out all the information from Barbara. I know most people had it and have it done, and I managed to get mine done, so that was point number one. Two, today, I took the first whack at getting out liaison list out. And I don't know if anyone has any concerns or anything like that about what they were assigned and would like to see changes, or, I mean, I tried to just shuffle them up a little bit, and, because some people have,
I do have some concern, Kevin, I really don't know what to do. I've only worked in that aspect, really, on one case. Also, if I understand Barbara's instructions correctly, I have to take it again, even though I took it before.
you have, oh, you're talking about the council, the conflict of interest training, Bruce?
Right,
You have to
right,
take it every 2 years. That's the state law.
right. Okay. I thought I understood that correctly.
Yeah. Just set aside some time, because it probably takes about an hour and a half to get through all of the training, so. Yeah.
How about, I heard mention of a training for this kind of work, liaison work.
No, not that I'm aware of. I don't think there's ever been training. It's more of a, you're in the role, you're just expected to be the committee's communication with that department and department head.
Okay,
You'll answer if we have questions, you go to them to get the answers, and vice versa. If they have things they need to get in front of us, they'll usually come to you asking to meet with us. And
Okay.
in most cases, since we've gone to the budget book, it's probably been 10 or 12 years, if not longer now. Most of that stuff is already handled. It's really when we get some really nitty-gritty questions, or people have some concerns, like the police department. There used to be a lot about how I forget how it's like a 6-day rotation, and people wanted to make sure they understood how the whole 6-day rotation and stuff worked. I'm trying to think of questions like that a liaison would be responsible for getting an answer to.
okay, thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome. And I already hit the thing about the DVD copy of the meeting, and we'll figure out how that works so that Joanne can take the meeting minutes. So is anyone else got any other new business?
As far as that's concerned, do they get their budget, or are they going to submit the budget to the committee as far as next year's budget, then we see it, or
No.
we wait for them to contact us, we contact them, or?
No, what will happen is they're probably in the process of it right now. The department heads put their budget together, submit it to the finance director, who asks questions, kind of try and finalize what their budget's going to be. They put together a budget package. I don't know if you were here last year when we
No.
all got a budget. All right, we get a book, basically, that contains all the proposed budgets, with all the information about what's changing in each of the budgets and why it's changing. So that's what I mean, like, there's not a lot of liaison work left anymore. Before we started doing it this way, you were basically getting all the
Or
information.
you're going, okay,
But now they're giving you a package, and basically all you're doing is clarifying any questions that are contained within the package.
And there's the Saturday meeting.
And there's the Saturday meeting, usually that's when the budget season kicks off. It's usually us the TA, the finance director, the Board of Selectmen, and then the really big department heads, the ones with the big budget things. They
Yep.
come in, we discuss, what's changing in their budget, why it's changing, just to kind of kick everything off, kind of get what the Board of Selectmen are trying to do with the budget for the given fiscal year, things like that. That's one Saturday. It's usually very late February or March. But, everything starts working back from whenever the town meeting's the first Monday in June, so you start working
Yeah.
back from there.
Yeah.
We need to have our book, this thing, to the printer a month ahead of that meeting, because, it's basically 2 weeks to print it, and then give it 2 weeks for people to actually be able to get a copy and digest it and read it. That's typically, and then just keep working your way backwards from there, how we do the special town meeting and annual town meeting warrants, and then going through the line item budget. Usually the line item budget is pretty clear and straightforward.
The way I would describe it is, the budget process is, department heads are putting the budgets together.
Right?
Now. It's right here. Oh. They're putting it together now. They're working with Barbara, working with the town administrator to put together this budget book. We're going to get it. It'll be this thick. We're going to go through each department. We're going to ask questions. We're going to need to understand what's going on here. The liaison, in advance of that, will meet with those department heads so that they kind of understand what's in that for that department. So when questions come up, the department head will be here to explain them and walk through them, but we'll be there to maybe help with the communication so that the information comes across clearly and is understood, or if there are follow-up questions that need to go back to the department, rather than run them through multiple people or whatever, there's a member of the board of the committee here that's the liaison of that committee, can get the answers and bring it back versus having to bring the departments back in again to answer the questions.
Okay, so they'll have this list of who their liaison is and all that stuff, okay.
As long as we're not going to change it, I would be sending it to Bob, and I'd send it to Barbara, and so everyone's aware who to contact on the
And
finance.
when you get the budget book and you know your departments, you just reach out to the department heads, they look forward to that little 1 hour sit down or however long it takes to go through and explain what's going on. So we have, as members, have an understanding and can answer questions if that department head is not here when those questions come up during.
Do they have guidelines? I mean, do we see guidelines for inflationary or anywhere like that till we could get it? It's like,
That'll be in the book.
It'll be in the book?
They come in with a kind of a CPI thing that says, here's what the COA, COLA is. And, those are for the non-union employees, and the union employees already have it all built into their contract, so there's not a lot you can do with that.
yeah, okay, it makes sense, yeah. Okay.
And when will we get those budget books, Mike?
You won't see them until, working. March, thank you, Barbara. Their voice just comes out of the... Okay. All right, any other new business items? All right, and I have nothing else for tonight, because I would say, is there any public access, open public access, but there's nobody here for questions or comments.
So Kevin, you did advertise the telephone number, though, on your agenda, so you just might want to check if there's anyone on the phone line.
Right, I was told to go do that. Thank you, Barbara. So, this is this one, right? So is there anyone here for comments or questions with the Finance Committee?
You'll see what this year's is.
This guy,
Hello, anybody there?
actual book.
The raw material.
Nope, I think we're good.
Last year's.
Where do I get that from?
The finance director.
All right, then. Seeing there's nobody on the
Thank you.
phone as well, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move adjourn.
Larry, do I have a second?
Second,
Ken, so we're going to go in order again. Larry?
Aye.
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 Mike?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
And Kathy?
Yes.
And Kevin's a yes as well. So we are officially adjourned at 7.